Hi, I'm Riz. Let's go ahead and open some cards together. Today it's midweek around here, so probably midweek around there also. Hope your week's going pretty well no matter what you're up to. Today we have 5 packs of cards to open up yet again, all ones we've opened before, but I'm pretty excited to see what we find inside anyway. One quick note, to those of you who've been worrying for a while, when will this man ever start playing the game instead of only collecting the game? Probably next week or two I'll be playing my very first game of in-person Magic. I've ordered a couple pre-constructed commander decks for my wife and I to play together. She's really into Doctor Who, so I went ahead and bought a couple of Doctor Who decks. We'll play together for a little while, and then also, I think pretty soon I'll be playing an actual game in person at my local card store. One of the people who lives here in Tokyo has offered to play with me, so we'll see how that goes. Excited to move beyond just the merely collecting phase, merely opening phase, to the playing phase also, and I promise I'll report back on how that goes eventually. Right now though, let me just say as usual, if you enjoy what happens here, please consider pushing the buttons down below. We're getting ever closer to those exciting 100 first subscribers. When we get there, we'll have 5 packs open that'll be a little bit different. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are also. We return once more to Tarkir Dragonstorm. These are, of course, the cards that are most recently released. They're the ones that are going to be holding pride of place until the Final Fantasy comes out. And I haven't yet bought a Final Fantasy collector box. Man, those prices are getting high. What, up over $1,000 now in some locations for collector boosters. Crazy, crazy, crazy prices, but everybody loves Final Fantasy. Alright, here we go. The Salt Road Pack Beasts. We've seen them before. Looking kind of dragony, along with being somewhat camely. Everything's a little bit dragony in Tarkir. Then, the Wild Ride, a sorcery. Target creature gets +3/+0 and haste also. You can cast it out of your graveyard if you want to. What a wild ride indeed. Apparently using his shield as a sled on down the hill. And then is that spearman to stop him or to impale something at the end? The Kin Tree Nurturer. I know we've seen you before, but I continue being amazed by the fire magic being used in the tree perhaps. I don't know. Maybe it's like their own private son a bit. Sarkhan's Resolve. Seen this one also before. Fight that dragon. Though again, the fire. Does the fire of the blade harm the fire of the dragon? A Ringing Strike Mastery. Yeah, we've seen this one before. Also, enchanted creature has 5 mana. Untap this creature. It's possible to tap a creature and then make it difficult to untap. So I'm guessing you use this to stun out your enemy's best creature, whatever it is. 5 mana is quite a bit to untap, isn't it? The Poised Practitioner, so 2 dancing attackers, one after another. The one on the right here wearing I thought she was wearing a Dragonkin helm from Skyrim, but no, instead, that's just their head. This one, though, carrying that fan. I don't think I've seen you before, have I? A Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1/+ counter on this creature. So every turn you can add +1/+1. Excellent form. Keep your weight on the back foot. You'll master this in no time at all. Seems a difficult set of martial arts there, to lean backwards and acting forward. Can't imagine that kind of bodily control. The Wingspan Stride. Another bodily movement card. Yes, yes, very good. However, I believe you're supposed to be working under sword techniques. As God is my witness, I thought that said twerking for a moment. I was thinking, my goodness, how forward-looking of magic. Rakasha's Bargain. No, you shouldn't, and the Sultai forbid you, but you can't resist temptation, can you? It's like a Palantir looking at Rakasha there, Rakasha-sa, staring into their soul, their secrets. What's going on, though? The bottom here, someone is dead, wounded, sick? Maybe the soul is being pulled out or brought into punishment. Unsure for sure. Zurgo's Vanguard. I know that Zurgo is a character we've seen previously in this set. Zurgo's Vanguard is a giant spider-riding fellow with a crossbow or musket. Actually, it's a glaive of some sort. I only saw the body of it there, but there's a poke in part 2. Looking absolutely terrifying as usual. The creature's powers equal to the number of creatures you control. So you bring this one out, I guess, as a finisher of some sort to really put down some big damage all at once. Zurgo's Vanguard. The Purging Stormbrood, one of the many dragons we've seen. The Dragon Sniper. And for every reaction, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The anti-dragon right there. Laced Prowler, a Snake Ranger. My first time seeing this card, I believe. When the creature enters, you may mill cards equal to the number of lands you control. Alright, so you can get rid of as many cards as you have lands, renew, spend a bit, and then exile the card from your graveyard. Put X +1/+1 counters on a creature, where X the number of land cards in your graveyard. Activate only the sorcery, so no instants. Alright, so how does land get into graveyards? I don't think I've seen how that works yet. I know you can play one land per turn, but to get in graveyard somehow, I think we've probably seen a card where you can destroy an opponent's land. Maybe you can cast on yourself also. I'm not sure. Snake Ranger, though, is able to put counters on other creatures, and then also the 5/5 themselves for only 4 mana. Is that good? I don't know. But the Ranger is not fighting snakes, the Ranger is the snakes. Or at least one. Then the Stormstreak Feral. I've gotten so many of this showcase card. I'm guessing it's a common showcase, and so every time I go, wow, it looks so cool, it looks so amazing, and then remember I already have a few of these. I need to give those to my undergrad students pretty soon to, I guess, empty out the box somewhat. The Blossoming Sands. The land enters tapped, you gain some life when it comes in, and then the Zombie Druid. There you go. That's our card pack number 1. That Ranger's a new card for me, I believe, and so glad to see at least one new card. I know as we continue opening Tarkir as time goes by, we're going to find more and more of the same cards. Probably a good reason to vary the ones we're using. And I do have some other packs down below on my shelf that we've not seen before. You will see soon. We'll continue from left to right, getting this Tarkir Collector Booster. Backside of it, the Dispelling Exhale. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may behold a dragon. The counter target spell, or counter target spell, unless you pay 2 against it. So expensive cost. Make sure that one spell goes through. On a common card, though. We then have Tranquil Cove. Oh, a moment ago I just mentioned on a common card, though. Do any of you play Pauper? I know Pauper is the commons only deck allowed. What kind of Pauper builds do you go for? Is there a particular Pauper card you really enjoy? I don't know how to think about this at all, though, but the idea of building a deck out of only commons seems so delightful, but also very complex. Tranquil Cove, we've seen that one previously. We then have Abzan Devotee. Abzan Devotee, a dog cleric. The kin trees rediscovered after Dromica's falls were tended carefully by chosen wardens. The dogs look after the trees. I didn't realize previously that tree warden we saw was probably a dog of some sort. We then have Roamer's Routine. Roamer's Routine. That's a mammoth, hog, horse, hard to tell. Leads its... that mammoth horse hog thing leads its riders around the mountains. Search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield tap, and then shuffle. You can cast the from the graveyard if you want to. This is like kind of in case of desperation card. It's 3 mana to find that land. So you're missing land, get some real quick, maybe. Sultai Monument, we've discussed it before. We are disgusted by it still. On we go. Glacial Dragon Hunt. Draw a card, then you may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Glacial Dragon Hunt deals 3 damage to a target creature, and more harmonized. We're seeing so many harmonized cards today. Also, I think I've seen this image before. Why would you get so close to the dragon? You fools, you absolute fools. Not that I'm a master of dragon strategy, but there has to be some basic knowledge. The Stalwart Successor. So, surrounded by the fires and the ancients, a 3/2 character. We then have another Stormstreak Feral in showcase form. Like I said, got a couple of those, not sure what to do with them. A Twin Moss Stormbrood. We've seen you previously. Every time I see them, I think they look like ducks. There's a bill right here, and the hats look kind of duck-like also. I refuse to accept this is not a half-dragon, half-duck hybrid. Then our Swamp with Dragon flying overhead. And then we get into our rarer cards, I believe. We have the Dalkoven Encampment. Land enters tapped unless you have Swamp or Mountain. And then you can go ahead and add yourself some white mana. Or if you spend 2 mana and tap it, you then create 2 1/1 Red Warrior creature tokens. They're tapped and attacking also. So tapped and attacking means I guess you have to spend them, because they're destroyed at the beginning of the next end step. So they attack right away, Everyone comes flying out of the circus all at once. Clowns, magicians, and all the rest. A colossal Grave Reaver. I believe we've seen you previously. Every time, though, I just imagine the terrible sound of the smash it makes when hammering into the ground. Awesome. Awesome card. Looks great. A Tersa Light Shatter. She's holding the lightning and smooshing it. She's an Orc Wizard. Seen her previously, I believe. We then have Call the Spirit Dragons. Your dragons are indestructible. They've been called forward, and they will never, ever go away. Look, they're friends. I guess one is foil and one is not, but there you go. One pack, two Tersas. It's the Tersa twins. A little unexpected, a little disappointing maybe. I know there's an arc that's meant to be in each pack, right? The sense of, how exciting, my joy is rising, oh, how great. Wow, it's an amazing card at the end. But I think the double Tersa may have been slightly disappointing. That's okay, though. It's important to experience all the feelings while opening our Magic cards. Alright, we then go to our Brothers War set booster here. I'm so hopeful that we find another one of those Transformer cards. We found a sudden Transformer card in the first Brothers War booster. It was a funny moment. I'd love to see more of them if possible. So, what's inside of this one? Is that how it's supposed to open? I don't know. There must be some ideal way of opening these cards. I haven't quite found it yet. Alright, so art card on top, we'll go and work from there. First, an art card of... Are you riding the monster or fighting the monster? It's called Mishra Lost to Phyrexia. So Mishra is the other brother. So I think Uzra is the brother who continued on the way of good and machinery, and Mishra was tempted by the dark demons. Cool art card. I give them all to my wife. She uses them as bookmarks. Then a mountain. Then Tokasia's Dig Site. It's a land. You can use it to add 1 colorless mana, and also Surveil with some additional mana. Looking at your top card in the library, throwing it away or keeping it around. Assemble their noble parents to toughen up and learn something of the world's past. Urza and Mishra instead uncovered Tertiary's future. So they went digging and found, I don't know what, some part of the game's lore maybe. They dug and found possibly a spaceship. We'll see eventually, I'll learn that. Tokasia's Amulet! Tokasia is the hero of this pack. Tokasia's Amulet is this creature here. It's a robo-elephant? A robo-pack beast maybe? When Tokasia's Amulet leaves the battlefield, you gain 2 life. So it's a 4/4 when it goes away. It doesn't say it dies, so possibly being exiled otherwise would do it. And remember, you can unearth it if you want it. Return the card to your graveyard, or from your graveyard to your battlefield. It also gains haste. It then is exiled again at the beginning of next end step. So, okay, if it's unearthed and goes to the battlefield, and then is exiled by you, do you gain the 2 life again? I bet you do. Earlier today I was told the best way to understand Magic is to just read the card. I think it's probably a bit of a meme, and new players often misunderstand things, but I swear I'm reading the card, I swear. The Wasteful Harvest. Mill 5 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. Once the brothers discovered the pristine island of Argoth, the war came down to who could plunder it faster. Some, possibly robots with saw chain arms, like in Warhammer, ripping down the trees. The Rock Hunter has reach. Never track the rock itself with your eyes, for it will swoop with the sun at its back and blind you. Instead, track its shadow, and when it's almost upon you, heave your javelin upward with all of your might. There you go. You watch these videos to be entertained, also to be educated. The Rock Hunter teaches us how to hunt flying things. Mask of the Jade Crafter. Looks very elf-like. Let's see here. So you spend some mana, sacrifice the Mask of the Jade Crafter, and make a golem out of it. And then you can unearth it and cast it again. So I'm wondering if the unearthing, the sort of archaeological mechanic there, is part of the two brothers' pack or series in itself. I wouldn't doubt it. So the Jadecrafter mask becomes a golem instead. The Alloy Animist, a druid who's also able to target a non-creature artifact, which then becomes a 4/4 artifact creature. Wait, does this go together? So if you want to, assume you've played the Mask of the Jadecrafter, can you use the Alloy Animist to turn the Jadecrafter mask into a creature? It attacks then, doesn't die, then turns back into normal mask and can be used again to make another artifact. Is that right? Can you do all of that together? I'm trying to find card interactions. It's an important part of my learning, I believe. This metal belonged to Argoth, was ripped from the ground. Now it belongs to Argoth again. I believe that Argoth might be the island we just learned about. Is that true? The brothers learned of... Yeah, the island of Argoth is where it's from. So the metals in the ground of Argoth, much as the trees above it, are all being harvested down. A Thrawn power suit. Little Fallout action here. An equipped creature gets 1/1 for each aura and equipment attached to it, and has Ward of 2. Also equipped 2. So we're able to have our characters begin wearing armor and other equipments. I wonder what the maximum number of pieces of equipment one can get onto a character is. Gotta be quite a few. Ichor Wellspring. That's disgusting. When Ichor Wellspring enters the battlefield or is put into the graveyard from battlefield, draw a card. Our glorious infection has taken hold. Elish Norn the Grand Cenobite. Aren't Cenobites from Battlestar Galactica or something? Maybe. An infection comes forward, hopefully allowing you to draw some cards. Then the Millstone. Oh my goodness, it's in some person's head. Oh, I thought it was a commentary on just grinding graves, about grinding down people. Minds, like mountains, are never so grand and mighty they can't be reduced to dust. Yeah, definitely a little bit of a literalization of metaphorical concern. Then the Perennial Behemoth. The tree is angry. You may play lands from your graveyard. I'm guessing you can still only play the one land per turn, but the plural there, lands from the graveyard, and a 2/7 creature. Very, very beefy. Last card for now, the foil Gix's Caress. That is no massage that I would want. Show me the delicious misery you've sown. Alright, so Gix, not a good guy. Lastly, we have a completely blank card. You could write in your favorite story there to a friend. Power word, will you marry me? Cost to cast, 1 knee. Perfect. I hope I can write some Magic the Gathering cards myself someday. 3 down, 2 to go. About the halfway point, a little past halfway in this one. Let me again say thank you. I hope you're enjoying yourself, and do consider throwing a subscription down below if you're enjoying it. If you want to take a moment and click the like button, I'd like that too. It does help other people find the videos, and me know my work is appreciated. Thank you very much for that indeed. We go to our mystery booster. I believe this is my last mystery booster pack from the one box I had. So starting on Friday, you'll be seeing a whole new set of play boosters for us to open. Actually, I have 2 different sets. I think I know which one we'll go to first. First, though, the Ancestral Blade. And again, with this being mystery booster, who knows what we'll get? A wide variety of series with no rhyme and or reason. When this Ancestral Blade enters the battlefield, you make a soldier to carry it also, and that soldier has the blade attached to it. The equipped creature gets 1/1. Okay, so initially, the 1/1 soldier gets the blade. Can one eventually move it to other characters? I assume so. I'm guessing you have to destroy equipment independently of those who carry it. Maybe. Imposter of the 6th Pride. Oh, what's happened? Oh, it's a changeling. I see. I was wondering if this poor lion person was melting, but no. It's not actually a lion. It's instead a changeling who has joined them, perhaps spying among them. The tribe was as strong as his longing, their territory as vast as isolation. The changeling knew he'd found a home and a form. Oh, the changeling's lonely. That's incredibly sad and sweet, but why is he coming apart? And will the other lions notice? This might be my favorite character. I'm not sure how much I like the card. It's just a 3-1 with every kind of creature. It could definitely join the squirrel deck, but I like this story. Like, so much story told in such a small place there. Suit up! Suit up! Until the end of a turn, a target creature or vehicle, meaning an artifact creature with a base power and toughness of 4/5, draw a card. So it's greatly strengthening one of your target creatures. I know vehicles are still very unpopular, but this is able to affect creatures and vehicles, so it seems great. With a reckless leap into the pilot's seat, Hirori went from the smallest kid on the block to the biggest hero in the city. Suit up! Then reality shift. Exile target creature, its controller manifests the top card of the library. So manifest means you can put it face down on the battlefield as a 2/2 creature. If it's actually a creature, you can turn it up, threat it up at any time for mana cost. So the player gets to know what the card is and can treat it as a 2/2 or flippo changeo. Oh, I think this dragon is toying with someone. Oh, if only to be that infinite beast with such control, or better yet, to slay the same. Shades of Form, looking very old school there. The Witch versus the Warrior. Warrior looks like she's getting the worst of it. Enchanted creature has Skull Mana. The creature gains +1/+1 to the end of its turn. When enchanted creature is put into a graveyard, return that creature to the play under your control. You can use this on the opposition and then get the card for yourself, or use it on your own card, I expect, and then bring it forward once more in strange magical form. Mischievous Poltergeist. Look at that face. Look at the finger poking. What kind of mischievousness are you getting up to? Mischievousness? Not sure to say that word, but I would not be surprised to see this fellow on the front of a cereal box somehow. Who? Me. The past is a ghost that haunts you from the moment it exists to the moment you don't. Oh, what a great and haunting phrase that is. Gerard of the Weatherlight. This 1/1 card and character has more going on to it than many much larger cards these days, in my experience so far. The Thunderclap. Out at sea, a very dangerous time. The Thunderclap. You may sacrifice a mountain instead of paying its cost. It just deals 3 damage. So get rid of a mountain all at once for 3 damage. Fascinating. The Sparksmith. Some sort of rotating grinder. Deals X damage to a target creature and X damage to you, where X is the number of goblins in play. If it didn't hurt, how would I know I worked? Oh... Yeah, the way in which goblins lead to everyone getting damaged, but maybe one at the end. So wonderful. The Findhorn Elder have a bit of a elven frontier. Not quite a Lord of the Rings character, but not too far away. Use it to add additional mana to the pool. It's useful to be able to speak to the trees. Wondrous to be able to listen to them. Findhorn Elder. And then a Masked Vandal. Another changeling. This one is not known the joy of joining the Lion Pride, but instead is out there. May exile a creature card. If you do, you also can exile target artifact or enchantment an opponent holds. So you lose a little bit, they lose a little bit, and you have a 1/3 board presence. The Spite-Mare, as it gets you in daytime. I knew a creature carved from a dream of wild freedom. Any attempt to leech or exploit it failed at a terrible cost. When it deals damage, it deals that much damage to a target, when it takes damage rather, it deals that much damage to target creature or player. So only 3 damage initially to be taken, but maybe more if buffed up. It's definitely a unicorn horse zebra thing with legs of fire. Is this us remembering bad times? Strange visions. The Plague Engineer. Anything it touches dies. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Those get -1/-1. Is this profoundly anti-token then? Like, if you're fighting against a bunch of 1/1 tokens, put it down, boom, big win. The lasting effects are invariably fatal. The Phyrexian Progress Notes. We know that Mishra was tempted by the Phyrexians, so maybe he got into using poison to fight instead of machines. A Rat Colony card. Rat Colony gets +1/+0 for all other rats you control. The deck can have any number of cards named Rat Colony, so no limitations on cards. Play nothing but Rat Colony cards, surely. Wreckage from a Phyrexian invasion provided rats with seemingly unlimited number of breeding grounds. They want your cheese, they're hungry, and they're coming for you. Last card for now, the Cunning Wish. Hey, it's a fish. I believe we've seen this one before. Future Sight Cunning Wish. Reveal an instant card you own from outside the game and put in your hand, exile Cunning Wish. Wait, maybe we haven't seen this then. Reveal a card from outside of the game? So you reach into your pocket and haha, or I've been sitting on it the whole time? Oh, wow. Outside the game. That doesn't exist, though. Cunning Wish, very cool. And lastly, Toddler's Rage. Something has a tantrum. It's like Trample, but for blocking instead. Sends damage back through for blocking. Excellent. There's your fourth one. A final one for now today is going to be our Innistrad Crimson Vow Collector Booster. One more Let's Spend Time with Vampires to round out today's midweek video pack opening. Last group for now, the Apprentice Sharpshooter. It's got reach, it's got training. What's training? When it attacks with another creature with greater power, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. The Apprentice Sharpshooter becomes less than apprentice by learning from others. Innistrad's best archers are trained by the Quiver of Kessig, an order of Cathars who specialize in ranged combat. So keep it alive, it heals up nicely. Not heals up, levels up nicely. Then the Mind Leech Ghoul. I wasn't intentionally looking for the horror show card of the day, but why does the Ghoul's tongue have like a sucker and teeth on it? Looking very parasitical. And that poor man, he's not some major warrior, he's just some guy. Oh man. This still doesn't make you the brains of the operation, says Ghoul Caller Gisa. When it exploits a creature, each opponent must exile a card from their hand. A 2/2 that's coming to eat you. Horror show of the day. The Militia Rallier coming up against all these zombies coming for us. We can wait like helpless children for a hero, or we can gather our courage and be the hero. Who's with me? Cannot attack on its own. Must have others attacking with it. Whenever Militia Rallier attacks, untap the target creature. So, okay, I was thinking it says untap the target that the Rallier's attacking, but no, instead it's untap a target of your choosing. You can then bring another character into the attack after? I don't know how the order of these things is/are. If you have to declare your attackers and then say no more attackers, then the untap happens, and so your creature's untapped after the attacking phase? I don't know how that works. Very confusing. I must learn more about the stack. The Drog's Call Infantry. Some pirate soldier. He swore to protect the moorlands, a little thing like death, no excuse to break that oath. Got stay in there forever. Perhaps he uses the Rending Flame. Deals 5 damage to a creature. I think we've seen this one before. A lot of lovely fire burning from everywhere. Infestation Expert. Unfortunately not going to be the horror show card of the day, but what a wonderful image that is. All kinds of insects, butterflies, bugs. Lots of knowledge about how different infestation works. When they enter the battlefield or attack, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. It is daybound. There's only so many times you can take being asked before, oh, are you going to turn into a giant bug? Oh, no. Wait, what are you actually? You're a werewolf. I thought it was possibly an otter for a moment. Whenever infested werewolf, I see, so it's infested as well, enters the battlefield or attacks, create 2 1/1 insect creatures. Hey, what's bugging you? In the daytime, turn back to learning about the infestation. But how's that work? Does that mean that in human form she's also infested? I suspect so. Let's not think too hard about that one. Then, the very cool land card for this set. Definitely like the presentation, a little bit more of a spare Image of the mountain, but great anyway. Next up, the Hive Heart Shaman. The bees, the bees. Whenever Hive Heart Shaman attacks, you may search the library for a basic land card that doesn't share a land type with the land you control, put the card in the battlefield, and then shuffle. So ideally used in a multi-colored deck, I guess. Also, if you spend a whole bunch, you can create a 1/1 insect creature token with a bunch of counters on it based on the number of basic land types and lands you control. Alright, so this shaman wants you to have a lot of that kind of lands and then get a big insect to help it. Smoking to keep the enemies away, not the bees away. Midnight Arsonist. Ah! Some vampire decided it wasn't enough to go for blood, wants to go for wood too. Maybe burn things down in order to keep his immortal construction company operating. Enters the battlefield, destroy up to X target artifacts without mana abilities, where X number of vampires you control. So lots of vampires, send the guy on in, and burn down all of the artifacts. The Howling Moon. Are these sheep to the slaughter? Howling Moon. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target wolf or werewolf gets +2/+2, and then, whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, create another 2/2 green wolf creature token. Huh. Alright, so every turn, I believe, you get to give one a 2/2 bonus, and then maybe multiple spells that don't stop the enchantment create more wolves for you. I don't quite remember how the day-night cycle works, but if you can cast Howling Moon at daytime, that's weird. The Unholy Officiant, a vampire cleric, uses the power of white magic to do their dastardly deeds. Blood Petal Celebrant. What are you celebrating? I mean, I definitely had a period where I was into goth chicks. I can see the appeal. His first strike is on its attacking. When it dies, create a blood token. I don't recall what blood tokens do. I'm not exactly sure if they are needed for certain vampire abilities. Dracula the Voyager. Hey, Dracula! I think I've heard of him before. Edgar the Charmed Groom. I did not think that Dracula's name was Edgar, but still. Other vampires you control get 1/1. When Edgar the Charmed Groom dies, return to the battlefield transformed under owner's control, so we'll flip it in a second. It's in the hole, perhaps in one of those boxes. I'll unscrew them one by one. You work the helm. What is in the box? Backside now. Here is the Casket of Native Earth. Now in full vampire form, Edgar Markov's coffin. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white and black vampire creature token with lifelink and put a bloodline counter on Edgar Markov's coffin. Edgar Markov's coffin. Coffin. Then if there are 3 or more bloodline, remove and transform it. Okay. So after 3 turns, is that right? After 3 turns, you turn back into Dracula Voyager again on his little ship there. Huh. I like transforming cards. I now understand why the Transformers cards are in this set. No, it's the other set. Never mind. Blood Petal Celebrant. Wait, I just had you. You know, the period one's into goth chick. Okay. Last one for now, I believe. Mina Harker. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. A legendary human soldier out there to fight Dracula, I assume. First strike. Non-creature spells cost more to cast. Our dear Madam Mina is once more our teacher. Our eyes have been to where we were blinded. Now we are on the track again. This time we may succeed. A 2/1, 2 mana, gets out there early. I don't quite know why you're good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. I guess it slows down the opposition's development with the additional cost there. But Thalia, the Guardian of Thraben. We then end with an insect card. You can use that for your infested werewolf, I'm sure. My friends, there you have it. We've gone through 5 packs over the past half hour or so. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I hope it's been a good one. I don't know what to say about the decks these times. I had fun opening them. Are there any especially rare or cool cards in there? If so, let me know. Let me know what you saw. Let me know what cards you like. Let me know. What do you do with your blank cards? Right now I'm just saving them up. They gotta be used for something. For now though, I'll say I thank you, I appreciate you. I'll see you again on Friday with another exciting 5-pack video as we get closer and closer to 100 subscriptions. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks so much, appreciate it a lot, and see you again real soon. Goodbye, friends.